It's SW Live, where the vibes are unmatched. Welcome to another great show.
What's up? What's up? What's up? How y'all doing? What's happening, my people? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another week. Welcome to another day. Welcome to another opportunity. We here and above ground with it. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. Welcome back, y'all. I always be excited to get on here and talk to y'all. So before we jump into the show, I just want to drop a sponsor. We got a sponsor, and it is IMETs. Y'all make sure that y'all check them out for y'all t-shirt design needs. And they also have this is a branded company. They have a logo, all that good stuff. They are one of our sponsors. So check out IMETs and be you, baby, because I'm gonna be me. All right. I'll be having on some of that paraphernalia when I'm on my show sometimes. So if you ever see me wear it, that's where we get that from. I am BTs. All right. So welcome to another show, y'all. Um, Today we're gonna be talking about, are you a good partner? What makes you a good partner? Are you? Do you think you are? And I think most people do believe that they're a good partner. Sometimes they find out that they're a shitty partner, but that's when they get to a point of communication. And because some people are gonna let you just be you, and they're not gonna try to correct the behaviors that you're having when it comes to them. But for the most part, people can acknowledge and they know if you're a good partner or if you're not a good partner. Y'all talk about it. Um, y'all speak on it. So it is what it is. Talk about it though. You gotta not let a person think that they're good to you when they're not. What's up, world? How you doing? You definitely got to do that. You can't have a person thinking they're a good partner or they're a good person when they're not to you, if they're not doing that for you. So speak your mind. But also, to that same testament, people can grow and people can change. They can do it either in the relationships or when relationships are over. But the opportunity is still there for them to be able to change. You feel me? All right. Um, Let me go ahead and drop that quote because I want to jump into this conversation today. I want to know how people feel about that. I want to know exactly like thoughts on that because it's not easy determining how to be a good partner. It's not easy if you have no experience, if you've not had a person be completely real with you, because a lot of times people aren't real with people about stuff because they may be getting some out of the situation that they need from the situation. And if they get in that, they may be like, everything else don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Everything else may not matter to them because they get in that for that moment, for that time, for that space that they needed in. And that's a lot of times what be going on. You getting what you need from the situation now. And when you're tired of it, you will just leave the situation, right? Right. That's what happens. Trust me. It's not a secret. People gonna stay as long as they need to. And when things, if it get to a point where they just there and they know they shouldn't be there, they'll leave. They'll definitely get out of there. All right. Quote of the day. Your relationship with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship you have. Y'all believe that or not? Is that true to y'all? Do y'all think that's accurate, that your relationship with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship you have? If you do, kudos. If you don't, kudos. But do you think that what's your opinion on that? Do you believe that it would have some retrospect, that you should be good to yourself and treat yourself a certain way before you think that somebody else can, right? So if that's the case, then it may have some variance to it. Or yes, very true. There's an opinion of truth. There's another opinion of truth. The accurate. He said it's accurate, and it's yes. Indeed, because you how you treat yourself, what you do with yourself, it sets a huge tone. If you can lose ground with yourself, run over yourself, allow things to happen to you that shouldn't be happening to you, if you can do that, then you probably have very, very minute care for yourself. But if you're a person that is very, very sure and defensive of who they are and they stand in the paint for themselves, then you're probably a person that will not um, allow anybody to handle you a certain way in a relationship. So you know how you are to yourself first. And that's the way you got to be. You cannot be around here letting a person letting yourself down and then expecting other people to lift you up. That's insane. You gotta be the one that's starting it off for you first. You gotta set that tone. So your relationship with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship you have. You'll have better relationships based on how you understand you. Be very conscious of that. Be very conscious of how you this like talk to yourself, how you handle yourself. Um, like just be very knowledgeable of those things, because just like what we speak into the universe and what we say and how we use our tongues and our actions and our words toward us, that's exactly what happens based on how you set in the tone for yourself. Like, so you want to have a better tone for you. You want to have a better treatment for you. All right. Let's see. We're gonna go ahead and jump into the show. Now, what are some things that make you a good partner? What do you believe makes you a good partner? Also, I dropped the link on here if anybody want to come online, because I know y'all mostly commenters on here. But if you ever decide you want to jump online, we keep a link. You can jump on and join the conversation. I love to have other people's views and opinions being broadcast, because somebody in the audience may think the same way you're thinking or have some of the same thoughts, and you want to definitely express yourself when it comes to that. You have every opportunity to. So, yeah, do if you definitely want, if you want to jump on, you can get on that link and come talk your shit. Come talk your shit. All right. Hey, what's up? What's up, sis? What's going on, girl? All right. So some positive qualities show up over time in healthy relationships, and these are often driven by a person's core beliefs and personal philosophies. Humility, resilience, and humor are among the behaviors most likely that what you will see in a good partner. And that's because you get to have fun with your people, you get to be real with your people, and you can just be you. Your humility is going to be different when you with somebody in a situation that you trust and that you feel vulnerable with. Vulnerability is a big thing in whether or not you're a good partner, because how you talk to a person, how they feel around you, and how they feel about how you treat them, whew, that's huge. That's huge. So if that lets you know how you are, like, and don't have stuff so one-sided, like, don't think you're a good partner and all you're doing is accepting the good partnership. You got to be giving it too, because I know I've heard some people say, well, if I wasn't a good partner, they wouldn't be with me. And I'm thinking, yes, they would. What do you mean? People get comfortable. People get in situations that they find joy in from the beginning, and they trying to hold on to it just as well, because they hoping that at some point you will change, that you will show them a different way. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of times what they're doing. They're trying to put themselves in a better position with you, but also they're struggling with the fact that I want him to do this, I want him to change, I want her to change, but they're not able to really grasp the fact that you may. So they're staying around based on a lot of hope too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of hope be in the building. Keep it alive. All right. Definitely a lot of hope be in the building. Who's that Bird? What's up, Bird? What's going on? How you doing? Thank you for joining in. You definitely wanna be real with yourself so that you are being real with your partner. And if you are like, and don't be on that BS telling yourself like, I hate unrealistic answers when you're talking about good partnership and how you are and how you treat. I hate when a person try to put it out there like they're so good, so this, so that, and they don't make no mistakes. They haven't made any mistakes in relationships and all of that. And then now all of a sudden, like, I hate that. Everybody has had to grow. Everybody has had to get better. You didn't just start off in your relationships being the best at who you are in your relationship, because hell, you didn't even know who you needed to be for that person. You didn't even know what that person desired and what they needed to, what they yearned from you. You had to find that out first. So don't come on. I can't. Ooh, it gives me goosebumps when a person act like they just been in the relationship just perfect the whole time. Just perfect the whole time. Everybody has their struggles. We have to learn how to maneuver. We have to learn our person. We have to learn our people. All right. So some of the things that let you know, and he said, "Amen." I'm telling you, it's a constant. Relationships are a constant work in progress. You get better. That's why you see the 20, 30, 40-year relationships, because they have grown to learn and love that person more and more each day. It's days that you wake up, you don't even like them. You don't even like who you with. You don't even like them because you done had a whole issue with them. You tired. You be like, I'm ready to go. This could be over. I ain't gotta deal with you. But you still there because y'all working through it. Y'all growing through it. And it takes growth to get through these things. Okay, Bird got an answer to what makes a good partner. And he said, never lose a respect for your partner no matter what. Bingo. That's a great answer. That's a really good answer. Because you must. In order for you to keep loving them every day, getting to know them more and more, learning how to accept their flaws, them learning to accept your flaws, as long as that is on a constant, baby, you got to have respect for that person. To do and accept a person for all the BS that y'all have gone through or been through or they shown you, because a lot of people have issues with accepting another person's opinion of them. This is not always like, oh, you wrong. I'm saying you wrong. I'm just telling you what you're doing that affects me. You may not know that you're wrong, but I'm bringing it to your attention so that this is something that we can address. We can fix it, because if we can't do that, then like how you supposed to get past things? How can you say that this is something that we've maneuvered through? All right. It's things that have to be done, things that you have to work through. So Berg gave a good answer with his response. You got to be able to being vulnerable without fear of being judged. If you're in a relationship and you always worried about if this person judging you and talking bad about you and all those things, that's a problem. Then that may not be a safe space for you. That might not be a safe relationship for you. But you do have to address things. You do have to speak up about it, because a lot of times a person don't think they're being judgmental, or they're not allowing you to be vulnerable because they don't think that's what it is. They may have been just thought they just being hypercritical, even if that shouldn't be happening. That's what they may feel like they're doing. I'm just giving you my criticism. Every conversation doesn't deserve criticism, though. You know what I'm saying? All right. So being a good partner, feeling comfortable in the silence together. Like, you got to be able to be around your people without it always being some type of entertainment going on, without it always being some type of party. The room, you got to be able to say, we can go into our bedroom and have dialect without it always having somebody around. Like, having one-on-one, and it's just y'all. You know how many people cannot be do you know how many people are in relationships, long-term marriages, situationships where they cannot even stand to be around each other outside of, if we got this going on and we just hunching, after hunching, they gone. They don't even want to talk. They gone. If they just got if they in a relationship but they live separate, they may, after their date is over with, not go back, not go and chill or go to a park or do something extra. They may just end the night. Because a lot of people don't know how to be comfortable together just in silence, or just want to watch a movie at your house and without it just leading to something else. Y'all just chilling, and that's sad. But if you got a situation like that and you're trying to be for real about it and you want to have a good partnership, that has to be addressed and discussed, because I don't think everybody got to have a full-fledged blown conversation when they're in the same space all the time. We should just be able to chill. You know what I'm saying? We don't always have to say something to one another. We should be able to chill without all that extra mess going on. You have to understand that men and women are different and we don't think the same. Of course, that's understandable. That's why you have to be able to respect people's thoughts. You cannot just think that how you feel is how you feel. Everybody, you can express yourself, speak your mind, but you got to be dealing with somebody who's understanding to that. And a lot of times if a man come from a male's point of view, a woman may think, oh, he just being so hard on me, he being so mean, he being so critical. And that may be how they process that, because they don't know how to accept that a man is speaking his mind based on his manhood. He's not speaking it because or addressing something based on what you think, because he don't know what you think. But coming from his point of view, this how he feel, and this is response, and you got to respect that. Even if you don't agree with it, you got to respect it. We got to be understanding of people's thoughts and people's differences. Coming from different backgrounds, you're going to definitely have different opinions. Nobody ain't sitting up in these relationships just thinking the same all the time. Like, that's weird. You know what I'm saying? I don't want somebody who like is what's the little doll's name that you put the hands in the little puppets that they do ventriloquism that. Yeah, I don't want that. And you just repeating after me, or I'm making you talk, or I'm telling you how to do things. I don't need to be doing that. I don't have any comfort in that. All right, feeling comfortable and sounds good. Trusting each other without hesitation. A real relationship will get you there. When you get to a point of trust with a person where you could be free to speak your mind and say what you want. You trust them enough to be able to be vulnerable. You trust them enough to be able to let them handle things that you would only normally handle yourself. You trust them enough to just be 100% free with them. Then you're in a good situation. Trust is big. Opposites attract. Of course they do. Of course they do. But not a smart person and a dummy. All I'm saying is you gotta have somebody who understand you and have sense enough to understand you. But definitely, opposites definitely attract. The next one that we got on here is feeling secure in your relationship. Security. Do you think that who you're with is giving you the opportunity to be free and open with yourself to where you can feel secure? Are you feeling secure in your relationship? Are you one of those people that are so comfortable, so easy going to your relationship to like you could talk about anything with your people? If you don't have that type of relationship, baby, I'm telling you, you're missing out. You need that. Being able to have equal conversation without that judgment, that's real. Like, If I'm coming to talk to you about something that's going on, I do not. The first thing I don't want to hear is "I told you so" or this or "what you got." Why are you doing that? Like, talk to me like we got sense. Talk to me with respect, because I'm gonna give you that same thing. But you got to make sure that even though y'all may have a difference of opinion in the situation, that person still needs to feel secure when they come to you. If I need to be able to have the knowing that when you're in my face telling me something that you feel, that you're not thinking about, your next response should not be to criticize me or to tell me that I need what that don't make no sense. That's some of the stupidest shit I ever heard of. I don't want to hear that. Cause now that's probably my last time coming to say anything to you, and I'm probably gonna look for me an exit. Because it's a lot of times I don't like disrespect and responses in your disrespect in your responses can be a lot of the reason why a person don't really want to deal with you. Don't be so critical in your responses. Have a person comfortable enough to come to you and be like, "Babe, I gotta talk to you about something. It's a lot going on. This is what happened. This let me just run this by you and see what you think." And when I run it by you, at the end of that conversation, now your response to me is so, how would you what you need from me, babe? Or is this something that I need to help you with? Is this something like, show some type of concern before you just go into the attack. And you really don't have to go into the attack, because this ain't your child. Because then you go to raising your voice at me or anything like that, baby, I will exit the room. I don't have time. Now that the disrespect level about something you got going on, I'm only there to help. I'm not there to be handled like I'm the problem. But I'm only going to respond if I got positive solutions too. So it's kind of like a give and take with that. With the security, it's a give and take situation. But make sure a person is secure enough to want to come and talk to you. Anything. Because that'll let you know that you're a good partner. That means you communicating with some dignity. You okay. Otherwise, a bitch think you crazy. Of course, having open and honest communication. Y'all, that's what we just talked about. That you got to be able to talk. You need to also regularly assess your needs, because people change, needs change. Sometimes you may need this. Sometimes you may have this going on. But depending on what your new focus may be, it may change. So now you may have to come and sit down and have another come to Jesus conversation with your partner, and y'all got to reassess and reevaluate what the plan was, because now the plan may have altered. Be able to do that on a regular basis. Be able to accept it too, but not like we ain't trying to say every 6 months you're trying to do business though. You know what I'm saying? We got to see how that first one gonna operate. We got to be real with it. Do your research anyways. Don't, before you just jump into something, don't try to convince your partner of something without actually sitting down, y'all doing y'all research. All right. Negotiating where resources are allocated in a fair way. That's a big one. Finances is always a huge thing in relationships. So make sure anyway that you come to the table with your own shit, for starters. Everybody need to have their own shit. Now it's gonna be times when one may need more than the other, and the other may need less than the other, or more, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. But you gotta be reasonable with that negotiation. Y'all gotta be able to sit and talk about that. Have a plan. Be able to know that, find out how your person is with money. Do they just blow money? Do they take chances with money all the time? Is it okay for them to feel like they can go snatch $20,000 out and just go make a big purchase without consulting you? Communicate that. Y'all need to have that financial conversation. Do not put yourself in no situation with nobody where y'all want somebody coming into the situation with money and the other one not. Because it's gonna be issues. I'm telling you now. I'm just letting you know. All right. Recognition of triggers from the past. If you have things that have been an issue in your past relationships that have made you a not so good partner, that's what this is talking about. Being able to recognize it. So if you see yourself about to turn into that person, being able to back away. Stop. Let me go take a break. Let me go take a walk. Let me go take a breather. Be intelligent with how you do things, because just getting mad and blowing up, dealing with your new person, thinking that they're in the same, that they should be talked to and handled how you did with another person, and they don't know nothing about that shit, and now you putting whatever happened in your past on them. No, no, we not doing that. We too old. We too grown. We not doing that. If you are the type of person who does that and is okay with making your feelings just be top priority, you might need to reassess you. That's why we said in the beginning, what the quote of the day was: your relationship with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship you have. Your relationship with you first, because you can't come in thinking somebody that you gonna fit to handle. If you handle you wrong, you'll handle the next person wrong. Diallo says, I think emotional intelligence is very important. Everyone has emotions, but not everyone knows how to process and deal with negative emotions without drama. And that's really sad, but it's very, very true. A lot of people respond in negativity, and that leads to drama. And no matter how much I feel like I just said we too old for that, no matter how much I feel we too old for that, it's still people that don't feel that they too old for that. They finna blow up. They about to blow up. They're not thinking about they blowing up. They're not thinking about how you feel. They really not. They really not. You done set up here and said such and such and such, and now you think that they just supposed to be able to deal with that? Oh, please, honey. They blowing up. Like he said, they don't have any emotional intelligence. You got to have that emotional intelligence. B, what's happening, my girl? You got to have that. It's triple important to be able to know how to condition yourself to not respond emotionally in a way that's gonna be aggressive, or it's gonna cause some drama. Just don't look to be trying to respond in a negative way anyway. Like, this your people. This is what I don't be understanding. People be acting like they love people so much, bro. They love people so much, bro. But they be the less understanding to their own people. They don't got no understanding for them people, bro. Like, they'll be in a whole relationship, like, and this person ain't doing nothing but showing you reasons why you can trust them, why you can love them, and a person that's constantly having to prove themselves, it's an issue anyway. That's unsafe. That person's still living in trauma. They're not healed. They something wrong, because why are you coming at me with such negativity in your if I'm telling you something, if I'm coming to talk to you and I'm getting a negative response on something all the time, bro, they gonna shut down. They scared to talk to you now, and they might be trying to exit now, unless it be kids involved, and that's when you start fucking up, because y'all be involving kids too early. Ooh. But yeah, that emotional intelligence is something. Is real big. Being unselfish in love. That's big for a lot of people, because a lot of people don't think they're selfish. They feel like, if I'm going out buying stuff and doing this or whatever, I'm not a selfish person. And selfishness doesn't just come in material. You know what I'm saying? Selfish come in how you treat a person, how you deal with certain situations, how you expect to be treated in certain situations. Selfishness comes in a variety of bubbles. They're never just the same things. If you pretend to be able to trust someone, you pretend to be secure in someone, you pretend to have all these things together, but as soon as something happens that questions that, or shows when you need to show your actual who you are when it comes to that, and then that real you come all the way out. That real you come out, and then a person be like, well, now you either putting fear in that person, or you about to really bring out a different side in that person. Because now they thinking, who did let that talk? And then on the other end, they might be like, well, I just won't go. how you respond is going to be how you now get the response of your partner and how they feel like they can be around you. And you don't ever want to put them in those situations, have them thinking that you don't trust them, or you selfish about how you gonna treat them, in ways in the ways of, I don't want you doing nothing without me. I don't want you just ending things that person do. They should still be able to live their life. When you get in a relationship, it shouldn't be where everything just revolves around the relationship. No, hell no. We got to have our own lives still. We get older anyway. That alone time matters. And for the new kids that's out here dating, that we definitely want to be promoting to them to have hobbies. Teach your kids to have hobbies. Get with their friends and hang out and do stuff. Even if they do it on their own, go fishing. You know what I'm saying? You got to have hobbies, man. You can't just be with this person all the time, because that's when things become a selfish situation. Now they want all your time because you done set up and showed them that for 8 months straight, the only thing that mattered was them. I'm going to show you that the only thing that mattered was you anyway. What's up, baby girl? The only thing that mattered to you was you anyway. But that don't mean I'm going to be in your face 24/8. Like, I'm going to have some me time. We're going to do that. Like, come on. Come on now. You got to be unselfish in love. You got to be willing to give people their space and their opportunity to still have their lives, even though y'all are together. But there are things that you can do to keep it going, to where they can't, where you want to at least be around them when you want to be around. Because she can't do it. I'm telling you that every no. That's a trigger. That just triggered me to know that that you feel like it's just supposed to be completely 100% me and you all the time. That triggered my whole inside when I thought about that. It triggered me. I'm being honest. Hey, Bookie Boo. All right, so schedule time to connect every day. Connection is crucial in every relationship. You can connect, and that could be via telephone, via FaceTime, via however y'all talk. Definitely do that, because especially if you live separate and you're not in the same house, same city, whatever, you at least need to be able to have some type of communication with your people on a regular basis. That's fair, that's honest, that's open. That makes a good partnership. That means you're making time for them. Make it a point to check in, show affection, express your love. If you love them, express your love. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, don't let things get in the way of showing your people that you care about them. Now, don't get biggity. Don't get it twisted. No, because we ain't doing that. We actually being okay with showing our love and our affection. I do believe that a lot of people want to do that, but they don't know how to be secure enough in their they don't feel secure enough to do it. So that's why it's important to make your relationship comfortable, so people can feel secure enough to be themselves and just be free, to where I'm so free with you that it don't matter what it is that you feel or that you need, that you gonna come and tell me, because you're gonna want me to be the one that do it. So let's make sure security is there. And it can be as simple as a hug in the mornings, just like having that affection of looking each other in the eyes every now and again, just keeping things sparkish, keeping that spark like in bloom. All right. Let your spouse feel your presence. Even if you're not there, they should still know that you are in their life. You don't have, like I said, you don't have to be there with them in the same space, but they should still feel that you're in their presence. They should be able to feel you if you're 120, 150, 300 miles away. They should still be able to feel your presence. That's how much you should have. That's how much they should feel your affection, because you've shown them that. You've given them that. So I do want to make sure that y'all are doing that though. Like always show a person and give a person that time. Make time for somebody that you care about. Believe it, Rich. I'm gonna talk it. Um, Focus on your hellos and your goodbyes. Ask yourself, do I breathe in and out, or do I take a moment to kiss them and tell them that I love them? When I'm coming home, da 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 da. She said, stop tapping. What I'm tapping on, E? Oh, my necklace. Yeah, I know. I can't help that. It be moving when I move. I move too much. I move, I talk with my body. But focus on do take a few moments to ask them about their day and really listen. So in the conversation, when you're talking about your day and they talking about their day, you're being able to actually respond with something that they said. That's showing that you're paying attention, bro. Like it's put your phone down, give them eye contact. If you're talking to them on the phone, make sure you don't have any distractions around you, because you do want to be a good partner. I'm not just making this stuff up, dog. Like these are things that you actually have to do to say that I'm a good partner. Just thinking that you there for a person anytime they call, or if like just because you can, if they say that they in a tight and you give them money, like all those things are good things. Those are quality things in your partnership. But being able to have these other things that lead into a better partnership are extremely important, especially going through the courting and dating stages. Okay. Validate them often. Like give them their validation. If they treat you good, let them know they treat you good. We want validation from the people we love. We want to be told that you make me feel good today. You make me feel loved today. We want to hear that. Like, if it's your birthday and I spoiled you on your birthday, I want to hear you say, "But I feel good about that." Because trust me, when I'm doing what I'm doing it to make you feel good. How do you not make me feel like what I did wasn't good enough? Like, validate it. That's being unselfish in love. I said that earlier, right? You gotta be unselfish in love, honey. Um, Acknowledge and accept your partner's feelings and their beliefs and their thoughts. Everything ain't about you. So even if you don't see eye to eye on important issues that you have, open and honest conversations with your partner, and it's to allow them to open up and share. Give people the opportunity to express themselves without feeling judgment. Any type of judgment, bro, actually that's gonna do something. It's gonna make your relationship a little bit more difficult if you dealing with any type of judgment from your partner, because that's something that nobody want to deal with, bro. Like nobody don't want to have to be scared, like feeling like if I go tell her about it or if I go talk to him about it, I gotta worry about how they gonna talk. They gonna talk to me like they my daddy, or she gonna talk to me like she my mama or something. I just want to tell her what's going on without it being a big deal. You got to make your people trust in your security for them. Bro, if you're going to have them around here feeling like they can't come and say this and say that to you, the relationship not going to be peaceful, bro. And nobody don't want no unpeaceful relationship. Nobody. We all want to have sound time in our relationship. If only noise you want to hear, some laughter, maybe like the TV, the other noise, but you don't want to hear no arguing. No. Okay. All right. Practice responding rather than reacting. So try to control your body language. If you're a person that speak with your body and your facial expressions really tell on you, especially your facial expressions, if your facial expressions tell on you, definitely work on that. Practice how you're going to respond with your facial expression. It's easy to fall into your bad habits of how you respond with your facial expression, because people gonna become defensive based on how you're looking at them. A good tactic is to take a deep breath and give yourself a beat to answer back when you're feeling activated. So if you feel like you overloaded with your response, then take a deep breath, think about it. before you respond. Don't just be quick to respond. All right. Vow to be a better listener. If all you want to do is talk and give your opinion in the relationship and you're not taking the time to listen, do better. Vow to be better. Actually practice to be better. Don't just be telling yourself that you feel like you're getting better at something when who you practice on for them to know you getting better. Who? You might have just been talking to yourself and you think you just better. No. Well, I don't know. He said there's a tapping sound. Where? I don't know what that is. I turned my microphone all the way down. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know what that is. D. Erica said that. You said that. I don't hear it. Let me see something. I don't know. I hear it though when I turn on the volume, but I don't know what it is. I do not know. Okay. Can y'all still hear me though, even if it's a tapping sound? Because it seems like I always got something going on with my volume. But if you can still hear me, say yay. If you can't, say nay, and then I'll try to. But I'm gonna let it just happen for right now because I don't got time because we about to get ready to shut down anyway. But okay, prioritize your mental health. That's an important feature. You got to make sure you're doing that regularly too, because you want to make sure that you are giving the best of yourself to yourself and the best of yourself to your relationship. So definitely focus on your mental health. Oh, she said it's gone now. Oh, wonderful. So I must have pushed something out the way. You know what? It was probably my cell phone. I had it sitting up here. Never mind. I moved it. Thank you, Nitra. I be feeling so slow sometimes with technology. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna get better at this stuff though. Prioritize your mental health. Talk about sex more. Oh, y'all. Do y'all know as you get? I know in our 20s and stuff. We know when we was in these relationships, we hunched like rabbits and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because we had children young. A lot of us had children young. A lot of people didn't. But for the ones that did, we had children young in our early 20s. So it was a lot of getting it in going on. But as you have gotten older, for my older folks that's in the audience, sex is more important now, right? In your older lives as you're getting older, because it's probably happening less in a lot of people's relationships. So when it is happening, it's a thing that makes you rampant. It makes you happy. It makes your vital signs and your organs get happier. Your insides be good. Okay, so they're saying talk about it more because it gives you more. Even if you're just talking about it, that leads up to it, it gives your endorphins and all that stuff a little bit more living. It gives you time to live more. Sex it makes you live longer. It's some 70, 80-year-old men still around here, so I'm not lying. It does help with your health and wellness. So get it in. It say talk about it more. If you want to improve your sex life, talk about your sex life. Nobody ain't gonna know what they ain't doing right if you ain't opening your mouth. And I know people not scared to talk about sex this day and age. I know it. I know it. They're not afraid. They speaking their mind about sex. If you're not doing it right, they telling. If you're not or either if they're not telling you, they're not doing it with you no more. And that's even worse because you want to have sex with your partner, so y'all got to talk about it. Talk about it more. The best way to keep the bad sex at a minimum is to tell your partner about your sexual needs and your desires, what you love in the bed. And if they ain't listening, baby, I'm gonna tell you right now, that relationship gonna be real sour, or it's just not gonna work. Because if you're a person that actually know what you desire and what you like in sex, you will not be okay with the bare minimum. You're not. You're not going to be okay with the bare minimum. Ain't nobody settling down with bare minimum no more when it comes to sex, because at this age, we already got our own stuff. We got our own shit, so we ain't dependent on nobody. So you gotta know what you're doing in that department. And if you don't know what you're doing, you gotta talk about it. And it's like y'all got quiet when I started talking about that. Don't be getting quiet. Y'all grown. Shoot. Healthy communication around your needs and desires can take a lot of guessing out of the game, giving you the pleasure you're really desiring and creating more intimacy between you and your partner. If you selfish in the bedroom and you only think about what you should be doing and what should happen with you, baby, y'all, that's not gonna end well. I just want y'all to know it takes more than a one-sided situation. That's old school. Ain't nobody thinking about just that no more. No, you gotta do everything that man doing. Only thing that you should no only you know what I'm talking about. Make household equity a priority. So make sure that you're trying to grow financially. Make sure as a couple y'all growing financially. That's a big deal. You don't want to have money as a burden. You don't want it to be something that be holding y'all back in y'all relationship. So talking about your finances is a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Having some savings is a big deal. It's a big deal. Know your attachment and take ownership of it. If you know that you have things that you lack emotions in, or you avoid things just because you don't want to deal with it, instead of talking to your partner about it, address it. Like, let them know, hey, up front, I've never had to really deal with these things, but this is something that may happen, and I do want you to let me know if it happens, and can you communicate that with me so that I can be working on trying to make sure it doesn't happen again. Acknowledge it. Let a person know so they can work on fixing it, because it's different with different relationships. In one relationship, that may not have ever come out, but now it's something that may be happening with y'all relationship may have triggered it. So speak up. Let a person know. Take the lead. And let me tell y'all something. Let me just say this real quick, because I must say this because I was talking about this earlier today. Feminism was not a battle that young Black women back in the day had an issue with. We didn't have a problem. Let me tell you something about dependency and loving and being a stay-at-home wife and taking care of the children and cooking. We didn't have a problem with that. That wasn't our fight. So when a lot of that whole feminism thing started, we was okay, but they weren't winning the battle because we weren't sitting up going out saying we want equality. We want to be treated like men. No, we didn't. We never wanted to be treated like men. We never wanted to do what men did. That's why we got breasts and our pocketbook, and men got broad shoulders and balls. We never wanted to be treated like men. But when the government, tricky government, they're very tricky. You know what I'm saying? They got ways to play games. They got ways. They're very strategic in how they handle things. So when they put all the drugs in communities that make the fathers have to go away, the husbands get snatched up, and the different things happening because people trying to take care of their families because it ain't no equality amongst men. Now, Black women didn't want the equality. Now, I'm being honest with y'all. But the equality amongst men, Black men wanted that equality. We wanted because we were only being looked at as a fourth, 3/4 of a human. We wanted to make money. We had to do things differently to make money. So Black men either was struggling with the fact that they couldn't keep a job, so that pushed them into the streets to get on drugs, and drugs just felt like an easy thing to do, and to take our mind away off the insanity that we're going through every day as the Black man, the head of the household, because we got to provide. They have to provide. They got to take care of their family. And the black woman over there enjoying themselves, they're doing their thing. You feel me? They literally doing their thing. They being that his support system. They making sure that the house taken care of, because what he go out and earn, he got to bring back. So she making sure that bacon is taking care of the bills, taking care of everything. You feel me? Because we didn't want femininity. Remember when I said, I remind yourself of this every time you think about that, you are out here having to work harder than men, having to work just as hard as men, because white women decided that feminism needed to be every woman's fight. So they wanted to be equal to their white men. That wasn't our battle. We didn't decide that when we got up in the morning, don't raise your voice at me. We didn't have to worry about our voice being raised at us, because we treated our men equally, and our men treated us just as equal. There was respect in the household. We knew how to talk to each other. We were the core of our families. Real shit back in the day. That's how it went down. Pure value in the homes, all that, you know what I'm saying? So you didn't have all these but they lost the battle. Let me stay focused. They lost the battle. They doing all kinds of stuff. They cheating with other races. They doing all that, you know what I'm saying? Because they men coming home whooping their ass, getting drunk because they don't went to the off to war and battle and come home. Now they mind messed up. So they, instead of admitting they got mental health issues, they beating their women. And now women like, I gotta stand up for this. I gotta go out. We ain't going through that though. That's not our fight. Remember, it's not our fight. So they go pull us in, because now they've taken our men away from us. They put us in prison, put them in prison and all that shit. Now all that done happened, right? So we lost what it was to be good partners. We lost a lot of that in that time when they were taken away, and now black women are now dependent on the government and all of those different things to raise their children. Other outside of organized people like the Black Panthers and stuff that helped out, we had to go start being government officiants. So we lost all that. We lost that whole, I believe in partnership, I believe in love, I believe in respect, loyalty, being admirable to my partner, being everything I'm supposed to be. We lost that. And now that a lot of people are regaining that and saying that I will not be a statistic of this. I will continue to believe in Black power, Black love, anything, or love in general, whatever. But however, it's coming back to that. I see it. I was saying it today because I'm seeing this with the younger generation now. We got a lot of issues with the younger generation. We speak so ill of them in a lot of ways, but they falling in love early, they getting married early, they believing in partnerships. The woman ain't got no problem with staying home, having them babies and raising them babies. The men going out making their money. I don't care if he's making the money through YouTube and they're using it as the family. I don't give a damn. They're believing in love again. And we have to remain vigilant and continuing to show them that real stuff, real love is really out there. Because y'all want to be 40 and 45 still out here fucking hanging out, doing everything wrong, leaving a person because they can't give you $1,000 tomorrow because they gotta go take care of this right here, and you know what I'm saying, just stupid stuff. And it's our generation that fucked up a lot of that. Because y'all talking about independent, I-N-D-E. I ain't never wanted to be independent. I ain't never had no problem with letting my man lead. I want you to take care of the house. I'm going to have some money because I'm going to believe that you're going to be there for me too. I could do other things, but I don't believe in that. And it's a lot of me out here that don't believe in that. So I like to see the change. We have to start showing real shit to our people, bro, because y'all, we have messed up a lot for these children. We have taken them away from real, true fashions, intelligence. Black people used to be out in the streets with suits on, going to school, walking to school, bro. Like high class stuff. We are high powered people. Y'all gotta remember that. So when you out here talking about real partnerships and being a good partner, be real with yourself. If you got an issue and you don't know how to talk about it, address that. Let a person know. Because it's going to take stuff like that that builds true partnerships, build genuine shit. If we're not showing them the way, and you've been supposed to been showing them the way, you've been supposed to show them respect for themselves. You've been supposed to, like I said in the beginning, the quote of the day was, how you treat yourself is going to be a replication of how a person treats you. You have to be good to you first. If they see that, they ain't gonna have no problem with being that. But it's on y'all. Y'all letting these kids down. Y'all gotta change what y'all show them. It's on us. All right. So I had to go into that spiel today, spiel at the end, because y'all, I know a lot of us get up every day and be like, I wish I ain't have to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? And just remember, it wasn't your battle, it wasn't your fight, but you okay with it though. You okay with it. Because y'all so quick to be like, if he ain't got this, he ain't got that. If he ain't, like, you can't do that and build it together. You feel like a person got to come into stuff with $150,000 off top and give it to you and be like, here you go. Because you gave them your phone number. Y'all don't want to do nothing to gain the respect that you want in your partnership. You just want it to be given to you. So, yeah, we got to work on that. But all in all, I wanted to say, I told that story at the end because I want us to start being better examples and showing these youth real leadership and what real relationships and love is about. Letting them know that it's real out here, and relationships standing strong. We got people in our generations that's been married 20 years. It's standing strong. Let's be the examples. All right. I love y'all. Y'all have a good evening. No, I'm joking. But we got a guest next week. Brandon will be in the building. We got a good show for y'all next Wednesday. So y'all tune in. All right. Y'all enjoy y'all evening. Enjoy. Peace out. D, you've been busy because I see you just popped on here.